And if we just looked at it differently, and looked at our places of businesses differently, we would see that our places of business could be places of transformation, both here in the present, right here and now, and for the future. It's really just in how you look at it. And sometimes in life, you need a paradigm shift. You know, something comes along, it just changes your paradigm. It just changes the way you look at things. And I tell you what, if you would just make that mental switch, you would find that you would really learn a lot about yourself, and you would learn a lot about your faith. Because the business place is a great testing ground for your faith. And so, in the present sense, I often walk through my business and I survey my staff. I really do this. And when I mean I survey my staff, I mean I literally walk around and I take the businessman glasses off, or the boss glasses off, and I put on my Google glasses. No, I don't have Google glasses. But I will. No, just I take the boss glasses off, and I just put on a different pair of glasses. One that looks at the people as people. I see the moms and the dads. The single moms who really need this job in order to take care of her household. And the parents who are putting their kids through college based on their employment in our business. The people who are going to school at night to try to better themselves and have a better life through that business. The people who really, really need it, and who they are as people. Their struggles, their hopes and dreams, their goals. Why did God bring them into my life? Why are we together? Why here? Why now? Why this time? And I try and answer those questions. And I ask myself a couple of questions, and I want you to write these questions down, and I want you to think about it in your own business, in your own place of work, with your own staff, if you hire people, or you're a manager, or wherever your position is. And the question that I ask myself, the first one is, how can I help them make their dreams come true? How can I help each of these people, each of my employees, make their dreams come true? Now, not everyone reveals their dreams to you, right? But to the degree that you can know, to the degree that you can learn about your coworkers and the people who work for you or with you, how can you help them achieve their goals? How can you help them to be successful? You know, in life, I've heard people say to me, you know, Wayne, you live a charmed life. And my wife and I get this all the time. People say, like, we live a charmed life. Well, why is it that your dreams seem to come true? Why is it that you guys seem to meet your goals? Why is it that you guys seem to be successful? Why is that? Well, I can't really fully answer that question. But I think a part of it is because we work so hard to make other people's dreams come true. And we work so hard to help other people to achieve their goals. And we work so hard to help other people be uplifted. That I think in the process it's just a spiritual principle. It's not anything you bargain for or you plan for. It's just that reciprocity, that reciprocal action that comes back. That as you reap and you sow, as you give. Someone said today, life is all about giving. Yes. And as you look at life through the lens of a giver, and you give, and you give, and you give, I really do believe that the Lord and life gives back. And so I think that's one of the reasons why perhaps our goals and our dreams come to pass, because we help so many people. Consciously help so many people achieve their goals and their dreams. And then the second thing, or the second question I'd like you to ask yourself is, how can I facilitate their personal growth? Is there a way in which you can facilitate someone's personal growth? Other than just being a coworker, can you be an encourager? Can you be a listening ear? Within the bonds of professionalism, how can you be more than just a name on a tag to that person? How can I help facilitate your personal growth? Did I read a really impactful book that I can share with you? Is there someone who made a difference in my life that I can introduce you to? Is there something that's benefiting me greatly that I can make you aware of? It may be a small thing. I'm not saying you got to preach to people or drag them to church or anything like that, but it just might be a small tip. I have so many people that have said to me, you gave me that little piece of advice. And let me tell you, it's made a tremendous difference in how I do things. It's made an impact on my life. So what can you do to facilitate someone's personal growth? And I believe that's a huge way in which we can have a present impact in our businesses and through our businesses. And lastly, I want to talk to you about how you can have a future impact. And we're going to close our comments on this point. In 2003, I had another crisis in faith. My wife and I were talking and we were saying, we're again involved in church, we're doing things, we're got a strong faith life, but we just felt like there was something else that the Lord wanted us to do. And we didn't know what it was, so in keeping with what happened before, we went to pray. And we began praying. And as we prayed, at some point in our time of prayer, the Lord spoke to my wife, and the Lord said, "This is it. I want you guys to get out of the church, get into the community, and you are going to help feed and empower disadvantaged people." And so I rolled over, one morning, and her eyes are wide open, and she says, "Wait, I got it. I think I know exactly what the Lord is saying. We're to go into the community, get out of the church, and help the poor and the disadvantaged." And I said, "Okay, yeah, I got it too, Sharon, and God told me to save the world." Can you be a little bit more specific? "Oh, that's all I got right now, but man, the burden is on me." And so we prayed and we shared and we talked, and over a period of time we came to the conclusion that that was exactly what God was saying in our life. And as we marched down the path of how to actually do this, it led to the point where my wife had to make the decision to resign our firm in order to go into the community and start this mission, this ministry that we really knew nothing about, but that we both felt God was calling us to do. And so I had to think about, Sharon was running my entire business operation. So we obviously, our household made income from her work. And so I had to think of the double whammy of letting Sharon go and losing the income into our house, but then hiring someone to replace her and taking that double whammy on top of the emotional whammy of dealing with all of this. But in any event, we prayed, we sought the Lord, and we did it. And Sharon went out, we formed the agency. And I'll tell you, I had a referral from a legal case. And when the case settled, we put some of the money into the business itself, and then we tied 10% of what we made, and that was the seed money for the organization. Well, I think in the introduction you heard it's 11 years later. The organization is going strong. We've helped literally thousands of families, probably over 20,000 people at this point in the last decade, of putting people back to work, helping people in their lowest places, people who are living in their cars, get job skills, get biblical counseling, get resume help, and dressing for success, mentoring, coaching, all of that. But the bottom line is, it was a lifting up, to lift up the community. And God worked through our business and through our acumen as business people to form that organization that went in the community to help all of these people. And I'm telling you, God wants to use your business in a transformative way, both in the present sense and for the future impact and the legacy that you'll leave behind. I began the talk by saying that business and purpose are two of my favorite words. And sometimes they're the very same thing. And I encourage you guys to go back to your office and consider those questions that I gave you today. And let your business life have impact and have tremendous eternal meaning. Thank you for your time today. God bless you.